show. I am your host, Suzanne Monk, host of the one and only Periscope live broadcast all about Donald J. Trump and the latest Trump news. They haven't been talking about much but Brexit. Everybody's been talking about Brexit. So let's get started. Let's talk about what's going on with the European Union and Brexit. And I had my skirt caught under the chair there. We have to get that straightened out. Great. Trump went over to Turnberry, Scotland, where he opened up his new golf course at Turnberry. Beautiful golf course. Eric Trump was put in charge of that. They did a great job out there at the press conference. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't chaotic. It wasn't bizarre. It was pretty normal. The most bizarre part was the weird protester who kept apologizing to Mr. Trump for, I guess, his really bad protest, because it wasn't even very good. Like, they don't even protest very well over there. So he was met with some other protesters, people waving Mexican flags, other things like that. But for the most part, pretty calm, and the press conference went very well. There were a few awkward moments, as any Trump press conference might be, but for the most part, the foreign press was very respectful, in part because of Trump's message about his policy towards England going forward after Brexit. We all know, we all heard Obama come out and talk about putting England at the back of the queue if they were to leave the European Union. Donald Trump came out saying the exact opposite. Excuse me. He has said that England has always been a good partner to us in trade, and in we have had a great history together over the last many decades, and so on. I mean, for quite some time. It's been a while since the Revolutionary War. So, indeed, he has said we will continue to work with England as our friend and ally, putting them in the front of the line, actually, because of our history. So, very presidential Trump. So Brexit actually bodes well for Donald Trump. We know what happened with the Brexit vote. The elites, the media, everybody was like, Brexit isn't going to pass. They're going to say remain. Everyone's going to remain. It'll be fine. No, it passed with like 1.5 million extra votes. It actually did very well and was able to win the day. As such, the media is freaking out. The elites are freaking out. The globalists are freaking out. Hillary doesn't know what to do. She literally modeled her new campaign slogan, Stronger Together, after the campaign slogan of the Remain people, which was also Stronger Together. And they lost, by the way. So, it's important to keep in mind as we are looking at the Brexit situation with the Brexit vote. There is a wave of national sovereignty, of people wanting their country back, wanting nations again, not globalism, not one world government or one continent government, but they want their countries back. That's happened, of course, in England. We've seen it, and here much. We might see the way the Margaret Thatcher was elected and then Ronald Reagan was elected here. This bodes very well for Donald Trump, and the elites are freaking out. So, congratulations. Congratulations, Great Britain. Let's talk a little bit about the Google thing. Maybe you have heard of this. Google has had some problems. Right now, people are finding emails that they subscribe to from Donald J. Trump are ending up in the spam folder. And so I went and looked. You know where my Trump emails that I hadn't been receiving were? Spam folder. Right. Now, this is a subscription I have signed on for, I have asked for, and have opened before in my mailbox. But somehow, it's in my spam folder. When you click on it, it puts up a little warning. Emails like this could be dangerous. Google. Now, so I did a little more research. When you use Google, okay, what you will find, very, very biased. You can do this test for yourself. Just type Clinton, click News tab, see what you read. Type Trump, click News tab, see what you read. When you get Trump on Google, it is negative, 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 over and over. It takes a very long time for any of the even moderate stories or positive stories about Trump to come up. Hillary Clinton, positive, positive, positive. You don't even get an email story until about 4 or 5 down. And that's one little story. And then it goes on about how well she's doing and how she's doing great in the polls and all of her programs. So I did some checking on some of the other search engines. Bing is the next most biased. It was moderately biased. When you went for Trump, it would give you a lot of negative stories, but somewhere down, maybe 6 or 7, it talks about him paying the $50 million to his own campaign. When you type Hillary, it puts a few negative stories. I remember 2 or 3 stories. There might be a story about her email or about some of the questions with her FBI investigation. The least biased search engine that I found of the top 3 being Google, Yahoo. Yahoo was reasonably equal. You would find that they had both the Trump stories that were more positive, Trump paying off his loan for himself, Trump doing well against this person, Trump's just articles about Trump's positions or recent interviews and articles, that sort of thing, as well as the negative stories back and forth. But they did the same, relatively the same for Hillary. So every other story would be a story about the emails or new allegations or whatever. It would go back and forth. So if you are using a search engine to search about Trump, I would go with Yahoo for my personal investigations. And we're going to keep looking at that and keep checking back. But for the right now, for the time being, Yahoo's much better. Let's talk about polls. This is why it's ridiculous that you only get negative news and negative, oh, Trump's doing so bad, Hillary's doing so great, on the other search engines, because that's not actually what's happening. In the Real Clear average polls, the margin is staying the same or shrinking between Trump and Hillary. Nationally, Hillary Clinton up by 5. It was up by 6. The recent terror attacks, and I'm sure after we see the Brexit vote come out further and further, we will see even more. Trump is actually gaining ground. A lot of the ground that Hillary appears to gain, when you look at the chart, has come from some polls that we know, NBC, ABC polls, were weighting the Democrat side by about 6 to 7%. So that means they interviewed 6 to 7% more Democrats than Republicans. And rather than adjust for that weight, they actually exacerbated it when they, weighted or adjusted the study, analyzed it and said, oh, outlier, whatever statistics they do. They actually adjusted it up for the Democrats. So those are where you're going to see a lot of Hillary's gains, is to offset the gains that Trump has had since the terrorist attack. And now going forward in Brexit, you will see the same thing. And they're going to have a hard time continuing to skew those polls, because the polls are actually getting tighter and tighter. And when you add Gary Johnson in the race, it gets even tighter. When you add Jill, it gets even tighter. And predominantly, it gets tighter for Hillary. She's only 4 points up if there's Johnson. She's only 3 points up if there's Jill Stein and Johnson. So a vote for Johnson and or Jill Stein does appear to be a vote for Donald Trump. So when your friends are all upset and, they're going to vote for Jill Stein or they're going to vote for Gary Johnson, let them do it. Let them do it. If the Never Trumpers want to vote for Gary Johnson, great. Most of them are really conservative people, and Gary Johnson is pro-legalization. So I laugh that they have to vote somebody that is so opposed to their general philosophy, because they just won't see that this man here is going to do this. And who doesn't want that? We all do. So when you get into the states, it's getting even better. Ohio in a tie. Pennsylvania, Hillary's only up by 1. In Utah, when you add Gary Johnson and Jill Stein, Trump leads by 9. So Utah, we had some there might be some struggle in Utah. Not when you add the other candidates. So we're going to try to run. So definitely we're going to keep following up on the polls, but we're going to see them tighten. They're going to try to hide that with their little skewed polls that wait for the Democrats too much, polls that control the number of respondents to the most conducive to Hillary Clinton. We're going to see all that just like we did with Cruz. It's actually nothing different, so we don't need to panic. We're just going to keep moving forward, keep talking about Trump, join your Trump groups, post news articles, share information, donate to Trump if you can. Donate at donaldjtrump.com only. Trump controls those funds and is able to disperse them as he will. If you donate to the RNC, they might choose to not help Trump because they're crazy. Now let's talk a little bit about this. They're trying to run some shenanigans at the convention. You guys, this is just more panic news. There is several instances where there are, individuals who are involved, who are delegates, who have received the information. They're not going to free the delegates. That's not going to happen. Many of them have signed individual contracts with their state that will prevent them legally from being freed by a national body. So, don't worry. They don't have a leg to stand on. They're just trying to freak out because they're little never-Trumpers like George Will, who left the Republican Party this week because of Trump. They're pouty babies who like the globalist agenda. They're Republican progressives who've been selling us down the river this whole time. It's sad. So let them go. We don't need them. And that is that. Let's talk about, I like to do Trump reason of the day. My Trump reason of the day. There she is. Trump reason of the day. National sovereignty. What we saw in the Brexit vote is people want their country back. They want a nation that has borders. They don't want illegals forced into their country or refugees who are basically undocumented forced into their country. They don't want undocumented people there that they can't keep track of when terrorists are known to try to be getting in to the country and cause terrorist attacks. They don't want to be regulated by a government body far, far away. They don't want a federal government that takes their taxes, hands out more and more money, but distributes the wealth away from the middle class and towards the selected classes of the elites. They don't want that. They don't want it in Britain. We certainly don't want it here. That's what Trump is doing so well. That's why he won the primary. We don't want that. We want our country back. Just like England, Great Britain, wanted its country back. And they got it. They voted and they took their country back. It will take some time, obviously, to see how that unfolds. But certainly, already we're seeing some interesting developments. The market has had some sell-off days, but lots of good buying opportunities. It's going to be fine. And the naysayers and doomsayers certainly are going to look quite foolish, just as they did when they got the vote wrong. Because national sovereignty is a global desire of free people, and we've decided to meet that desire. Here in America, we're going to do that by electing one Donald J. Trump. And that is my Trump reason of the day. So, let's do Best of the Trump Train, and then we're going to talk about how Trump beats Hillary Clinton. So, today, my friends send me fun stuff. They send me pictures of things. Whenever they see it, when they see Trump, paraphernalia, Trump people doing Trumpy things out there, as I always like to support. And this was in Roanoke, Virginia. As you can see, let's see if we can get that there. Yeah, there we go. They've got the Trump, they've got the flags, they've got the Confederate flag. Now they have mixed feelings. People have mixed feelings about the Confederate flag, but some people take great pride in their Southern history and heritage. And there are a lot of people who support that history and history in general, and this guy does, and he's voting for Trump. There are all kinds of other people who also are voting for Trump, and let's talk about them in How Trump Beats Hillary Rodham Clinton. I've been doing a little research. It's very interesting. I joined a group called Pink Pistols. You might have heard about them on the news. They are an LGBT gun rights group. They support the Second Amendment and gun ownership, but they're LGBT. And I've been doing a little bit of research, kind of taking a test, a little polling instead of trolling on the group to see how many of the LGBT community there or new members are voting for Donald Trump. And it's fascinating. A significant percentage, I would say most likely the majority of the members of the group, many gay, lesbian, transgendered members, are voting for Trump to protect their Second Amendment rights. So yet again, another vital demographic Hillary Clinton needs to win. She needs to win the youth. She needs to win the African Americans. She needs to win the Latinos. She needs to win with women. She needs to win with the LGBT community. She needs to win with these groups that have traditionally gone with progressive organizations. But you're right. She's not going to win with the youth because the recent poll says that 22 to 25% of the Bernie supporters, more when it comes to millennials, are going to vote for Trump. She's not going to win with the union voters because up to 70% of union members have already been polled by internal AFL-CIO polls that they're going to vote for Trump. She's not winning with white women. Trump is. She's doing as a Democrat does with the African American and with the Latino communities, but Trump is also doing well with those communities, particularly with Latinos and Hispanics. He is doing about 37%, which is nearing Reagan levels, which are the numbers he needs to win the election. And now, what I'm telling you from my personal polling, he is certainly making inroads into the LGBT community. After the Orlando event, certainly there are a lot of lesbians, gays, transsexuals, bisexuals, transgendered peoples who want to protect themselves and want to feel safe. They don't feel safe after Orlando. They want their Second Amendment rights, and they know, and this is from their own mouths, and they know Hillary can't be trusted, and she isn't going to protect their Second Amendment rights. So that's how Trump's going to be Hillary Clinton. So many different demographics she needs. So many of them are going to vote for Trump. And we're going to keep working on it here on Trump Talk. We're going to keep talking about this. We're going to keep sharing the information every single time we can. I try to do 1 or 2 shows a day. Here's where you can contact me. You can meet me at Trumpertarian. You can email me, trumptalkus@gmail.com. You can find all of our videos, including our past videos, at www.trumptalk.us. We're going to be doing a Trump Talk special edition right after this, so tune in for that. And keep on trumping, everybody. We're going to keep on working. If you have a chance and you have a little bit of money, go ahead and donate to Donald J. Trump. We need to Bernie. We need to feel the Trump, okay? We need to get our donations in, just like Bernie was able to raise so much money. Donald Trump, by the way, $11 million in less than 48 hours. We're doing great work. Keep up the good work. So, that's our show for tonight, folks. For me and little Trumpy, as always, Trump on, Trump always. Let's make America great again.